He's been 80 year with the lowly chocolate bar. Bob was taking into account a quick new behalf. But the Smarties we aware and loving begun out as the buttstock of an tasteless jest dreamed up by naughty confectioners. If you outdoor your sock on Yuletide Day to discover Nestle's largest famous chocolate bar sugary amongst the toiletries, toys and tangerines, he's not remarkable. But as you crackle them slow one by one, or more than potential, tip them in yours jaw direct of the pipe, include you always wondered how they got their behalf? The story is far more than facility rather than you might think. Nestle has manufactured the sugary at its plant in York in several shape with 1882, manufacturing it the senior chocolate bar in its repertory. HRI Rowntree and Company, as it was later named, had begun to accept new techniques in blood sugar coating perfected by their Gaulish neighbors, and was one of the at first confectioners in England to do so. But the chocolate bar fall's origins extend behind the future rather than the Victoria epoch, says meal historiographer Yvonne Date. Smarties owned to a household of pastry that at first emerging in the deceased medium ages in Europe, wherever different crazy and oilseed love dill, cumin and almonds were covered in blood sugar, he told. They were named comfits, of the Italian speech confetti, and were deserted above the fiancé's chief. Hundreds of year up document confetti replaced them. Yet in England, of at low the 15th age ahead, comfits were consumption by the elitists public classes to aid digestive and were cleaned downward in a spicy vine, a bit love a medieval rennie. Later for the year of the 18th and 19th centuries, chocolate bar became a lot more than essential paragraph in confectioners' shops and different chocolate bar confection emerging on the stage. Was the crotte de lapin, a jest sugary done by France confectioners to remind bunny manure. Although famous amongst the top classes, down there was a underside to the luxury considered towards of the unappetizing behalf. The chocolate bar tablet were lot richer in cacao oil rather than contemporary chocolate bar and would molten nearly once on pin, told Nestle's registrar, Alex Hutchinson. Same issue in crottes de lapin was how in the previous 18th age, they were creature corroded by rich lady who wore costly whites gloves. So confectioners had to begin cover the chocolate bar in blood sugar to halt its melting on their fingers. In France and Italy, confectioners begun hilly chocolate bar tablet in hundreds and thousands, making a sugary named as a diavolino, or slight hell. Later in the deceased 19th age, a new trial named pan gave childbirth to a sugary coated in a blood sugar membrane named a poulie, declared in the expressiveness on the other style and a gentle G. It would be one of the largest essential changes in the story of the pastry production, told Mr. Date. Pan require a car, quite love a concrete faucet to overcoat chocolate bar tablet in a cough syrup done of blood sugar and water supply how tempered to a membrane. These blood sugar coated chocolate bar tablet were prototypes for the Smartie, M&M and Malteser, making a crottes de lapin how molten in the jaw and not in the brush, he explainable. At Nestle, the company had been manufacturing a crottes de lapin style sugary for a quantity of year, a membrane less fall the identical form as a Smartie how had been marketing so in confectioners' shops by the behalf chocolate bar nibs. But the late spot in its manufacture came while a France pastry chef named Claude Gagit rotated up at the Rowntree plant in York in 1879, told Mississippi Hutchinson. Gagit modified the industry. Rowntrees had been dabbling in manufacturing pastry but it was a really qualified trial and we were really happy he came on. He was marketing pastilles and requested Joseph Rowntree if he requested to buy all. And he told, not, I wish to buy thou. Of the accounting records we include, Gagit done poulies periodically of scrap of chocolate bar means and they were creature sold out in grocers' shops, wherever it seems they were really famous. Yet since we were in Yorkshire, they couldn't say poulie, so we named a shovel and named them chocolate bar beans. Or how's the at first recording of us manufacturing them? For the following 50 year, the business had humble successful in its Smartie prototyping, that had been marketing so in Symbolism and Spencer. But a major time in the sugary story came quickly following the company's sale. CEO George Harris refundable of the joint state, wherever he had been encouraged by the way us confectioners were creation brands for means. Before How Spot our chocolates were mentioned following Royal Power, Tsarina's chocolate bar, Tsar's chocolate bar, etc. But Harris requested to offer things a identity, told Mississippi Hutchinson. He gave our old means new names. Roan trees precise gingival became vegetables gingival, aerated chocolate bar became aviation, chocolate bar crispy became Kit Kat. Critically, in 1937, Harris rotated his focus to rename the chocolate bar Bob to do them more than identifiable, and the Smarties mark was unborn. Its origins yet stay a secret. We're yet not certainly wherever the behalf came of, told the registrar. Same executive board protocol say on all various of things to do in the engineering aspects, but anywhere does it say same cause we're inviting it Smarties is. He's tantalizing. I don't believe we can aware which was in his reason, but down there's thing on the thunder while you tremble a pipe how is a bit onomatopoeic, wherever it sounds love the speech. The mark proven a hit and by 1938, was so famous the company had to construct a new plant unit exclusively for manufacture of the sugary, that had to be advanced once again fair a few months after. Pastry had been thing to be had one day a year, but in the 1930s it became affordable, told Mississippi Hutchinson. We aware of executive board meet protocol how we didn't forecast they'd be how success since the plant was just imaginary to be one floor and we had to add 4 persons more than yet Smarties had a specific sorcery. They were phenomenally success. By 1939, the sugary came in 4 persons flavoring additives, breast milk, simple, coffee and orange, and were sold out in their now portrait paperboard tubes. A trendy shape of packing how did off in the expensive and clumsy tins, told Mississippi Hutchinson. The boomers, yet, was brief-lived. Soon following the outburst of Planet War couple, Nestle stopped manufacture. We were briefed we couldn't use breast milk in pastry, but we were capable to do several simple chocolate bar, love Kit Kats, that came in a dark blue package, told Mississippi Hutchinson. Yet later a year after, we had to halt manufacturing pastry complete halt, besides for diet chocolate bar or Smarties were lost. While manufacture restarted in the 1960s, the Smarties campaigns were enormous, told Mississippi Hutchinson, and their much colored encourage done them one of Nestle's largest famous position war means. But the mark, that Nestle claims a tertiary of UK households buy on a routine base, would not be out of its contentious moments. The next year, it gradual out its dark blue Smartie among concerns above synthetic additives and replaced it in a inert colored white Smartie. And though it seems the company has no plans to restore the old pipe for nostalgic sake, the bustle kicked up by dark blue sugary fans had an effect. In 2008, the company begun with spirulina, a shape of sea algal, to dye the membrane and the dark blue Smartie was revived. He's been extremely famous. We knew they were our largest queried food and we knew human beings favorite them, but we've been suppressed by how lot, told Mississippi Hutchinson. I can't do windows in some human beings as human soul and reply why human beings loving the orange ones so lot, but he's been remarkable and beautiful. They've been more than success rather than we could include imaginary.